Welcome into AZ Ice in Peoria, Arizona for the first Mission game of the new year. Mission gets set to take on the Junior Sun Devils. It's their second meeting of the season thus far, but their first within the span of a week. We take on the Sun Devils tonight. Sunday, Mission will be away at the Bobcats, and then Monday afternoon we'll have a matinee out at Mullet Arena against the Sun Devils once again. And that tonight for Mission looks to be number 33, Oliver McNeil, as we get underway. Puck flipped up out of play after just 7 seconds by number 21, Cordova. Straight up into the stands. Cordova, Burgess, Steele, Melissa, and Hoover look to be the 5 on the ice for Mission. O'Sullivan keeps that puck in for the Sun Devils at the line. Now played out long. Hoover chasing, but that's going to go wide to his right. And we'll get an icing whistle, and we'll have to do the draw again. Steele to take the defensive zone face-off. Wingers from both sides waved out of the circle. And we're back underway. Third face-off in 15 seconds. Puck to the line, not out. Burgess with it. He'll flip it up out of the zone. Ganesh on it first for the Devils. And Hoover flips it in deep for Mission. Puck picked up, and they have a chance to break. Gamez long to Ganesh. Hasn't knocked off his stick by Cordova. Now a backhand pass finds Hoover. Hoover tries to go up the half wall, but that's kept in the zone. The far side, Gamez with a shot, and McNeil makes the save. Fresh skaters on the ice. Roth and Lewis combined, trying to get the puck out of the zone. Here comes Van Stone. Van Stone up the wall, flips the puck in, takes a hit. Jonathan Lewis gets in deep. The puck off is sticking out. Now Luke Johnson able to put some pressure on JP Roll for the Devils. Plays it long off the skate of Jake Johnson. They go long up the middle. That's tapped by Tag. Roll again, looks to spring a pass. That one's intercepted by Roth. Roth to the offensive zone. He fires a shot that's blocked right in front of him. Devils play out to the neutral zone. And then Roll looking for Peck, but that was deflected away by Roth. Tag with him. Back to Roll. Roll up the line. Roth circles it around. Cordova now banks it off the wall. Played out by Johnson, picked up by Lewis. Lewis tries to flip ahead. He gets taken down to the ice in the tangle. He's being held on the ice. Still no call. Shot in, saved, and no penalties out of that whole scrum. So 12:42 left to go. Still no score here in Peoria. Martin in to take the offensive zone face-off. It's won by the Devils. O'Sullivan's going to slap that behind the net. Played out to neutral ice. Picked up by Cordova. He'll wing it back in. Knocked long, and we get an icing whistle. It was quite the wrestling match. Both players giving as good as they got there, so no calls come out of it. Steele out now to take the offensive zone face-off for Mission. He'll win it back. Picked up by Melissa. Melissa circles to his forehand, sends it up along the wall behind the net. Hoover's going to try and pick it up off the half wall. He does. Rolls them there. Now to Gamez. Melissa picks it up on the half wall. Hoover. Down on the end wall, it's Steele circling with it. Back towards Hoover, just over his stick. It'll be picked up by the Devils in the corner. Steele and Hoover in along the end wall, trying to pull the puck free. Steele does. Backhand, trying to get it to Melissa. Does, but doesn't get any power on the shot, and that's deflected away by a Sun Devils defenseman right out in front of the goalie. Gamez now with pressure on the forecheck for the Devils. Puck flipped long, hits Hoover in the skate, and picked up by Lorenzo. Lorenzo takes it into his own zone and just avoids turning it over to Steele. Sun Devils in the midst of a change. Johnson sent to the ice again, no call. Peck into the zone. Fans on his passing attempt. It's going to be cleared over his head. Out to neutral ice was picked up by Van Stone. Van Stone has Luke Johnson with him, and then Johnson unable to pull up, and they end up just offsides on the play. Jonathan Lewis wins the draw in the neutral zone. Roth races back to play it, gets it to Johnson. Jake Johnson banks it off the wall. Lewis plays it past one defender, then able to play it down deep. Carlise watches it go past his post, and the Sun Devils now working their way out of their own zone. They get it out of the half wall. Lewis with it again. Takes it behind his own net. He'll go hard off the wall. Doesn't clear. Bear able to keep it in. And it gets lost in his skates. Bear, the captain of this Sun Devil team. Puck played long. Roll will retreat to his own zone. He'll take it. There with O'Sullivan. Plays it off the wall. O'Sullivan will step up. Can't get to the puck. Roth flips it in deep. Lewis sends it behind the net. Roll control for the Sun Devils. Tries a breakout pass. Can't get it all the way out of the zone. Picked up by Lewis. Lewis around one player, around another. Now backhand pass finds Johnson behind the net. Looking for a way to work it central. He can't. Barrett looking back for Johnson, but he got tangled up with Bear behind the net, and Lewis was on his way off for a change. Sun Devils will dump and change themselves. Roth with it. Long pass ahead. Finds Barron. He tips it into the offensive zone. Martin rushing onto it. Has Cunningham with him on the ice. Sun Devils trying to work their way out of the zone. The two, Ganesh has it at the red line. Able to get away from that poke check. Ganesh indeed taken against the wall by Cordova. He flips it high up off the wall. Gets knocked down. Now picked up by Barron. Able to get it out to neutral ice. Savoini had it. Now over to Ganesh. Melissa tries to pull it off the wall, over skates. Savoini able to dump it in. Hoover pokes it past one. Picked up by Melissa. On his backhand goes the forehand. Rolled, guarding him well. Played all the way out. Roth's going to have to retreat to neutral zone. Flips that in on net. Forces Carlise to play it. And we'll get a stoppage with 8 minutes on the clock. Officially still just one shot on net apiece here as we approach the midway point of period number 1. Draw one by Tag. Behind the net. Picked up by a Mission player. Now a tangle of bodies. Out steps Roll with it. Roll pass ahead. Tipped by Peck. Roth chases back. Plays it off the wall, but kept in by Tag. Lorenzo for the Sun Devils now in the corner. Takes a hit from Johnson. Still able to keep the puck moving. Looking for Bauer at the point. Keeps it in. Sends it across the line. And the Sun Devils will have to reset as delayed offsides. Long pass ahead that was intercepted. Read well by Peck. Van Stone into the offensive zone. He'll flip it high. Mission defenseman change. Tag picks it up. Skates around to poke check from Cordova. Has a shot. That made it through. And then Burgess able to clear it off the goal line. Another shot in, and that time McNeil's going to hold on to it. We're at 6:48 to go here in the first period. Scoreless in Peoria as Martin takes the defensive zone face-off. Won by the Sun Devils. Shot. Hits traffic out front. That was Burgess who able to clear away again. Sullivan flips high on the backhand into the offensive zone. Played out to the line. Now clear. Barron tangling up with Bear. Devils again. High off the glass. Bear leaves a hit in on Cordova. Out to O'Sullivan. Keeps it in at the blue line. He'll play it across. Bear finds Ernsberger. Ernsberger at the line. Keeps it in. Has a shot. That goes wide. Melissa with it. Finds Martin. Martin able to dump it in on the backhand. O'Sullivan first to it. He goes down, then Melissa goes down. Shot in. Saved by Carlise. Sun Devils will make a change. Played long to Hoover. Hoover in. Drop pass for Melissa. Melissa. Shots deflected. Rebound to Steele, who finds Hoover. Hoover spins looking for Melissa, but that was cut out. Melissa gets it back behind the net. Up to the point to Roth. Roth takes a step, fires a shot. Ends up right in the chest of Carlise, and would get a whistle. Steele on the offensive zone draw here to Carlise's left. Now he's going to get tossed out of the circle here on an encroachment. We'll see who replaces him. It's going to be Melissa to take it. Melissa wins the draw. Poked out front. Hoover has a shot. He lifted that right up into the high chest of Carlise. Off the wall, Peck lets it go. Comes out to neutral ice. Johnson able to bank it ahead. Glove down by Roth. Lorenzo intercepts the cross-ice pass that was intended for Hoover. Peck now to the offensive zone. Loses it to Johnson. Johnson tries to play Luke Johnson ahead. And he wasn't able to get to it, so we get an icing whistle. 4:37 to go. Close game here in the first period. The first game between these two teams was a close one as well. It was a 2-1 Sun Devil victory here in Peoria back in November. Mission wins the defensive zone draw. Clearing attempt was blocked by Bear. Cordova gets it to Lewis. Lewis gets it up the ice, not out. Sullivan did a good job to keep that in at the line. Devils keep it in at the line again. This time Mission able to be the first to it. Roll, long pass ahead. Decker. Burgess leaves a big hit out in neutral ice right at the red line. Sullivan back to Roll. Roll looking ahead for Bear. Can't find him. That's picked up by Lewis. Lewis to the offensive zone has a shot over the net. Rebound comes out. And Luke Johnson just not able to connect with the bouncing puck. Sullivan again, long exit. That time it was knocked down by Lewis, but not controlled. Ernsberger with it. And then that's going to roll in on net and covered by McNeil. A lot of games coming up here in January for this Mission squad. We already talked about tonight's game against the Sun Devils, Sunday against the Bobcats, Monday again against the Sun Devils in a matinee, and then the following weekend, starting Friday, a tournament here in town for Martin Luther King weekend. That puck flipped high off the boards over a jumping Savoini, and that's going to go down for icing again. Face off tied up at the dot by Steele. Played out to neutral ice. Savoini with it. Tries to find Ganesh coming across. Good job delaying his entry into the zone. Stayed on sides. Gamez with it. He shoots and he beats McNeil. And with 3:05, it's 1-0 to the Sun Devils. Back underway as the Sun Devils control the face-off, dump it deep. Burgess first to it, gets it partway up the wall, but not out. Gamez has a shot from distance that goes wide. Ganesh gets it up to O'Sullivan at the point. O'Sullivan shoots through traffic, hits Burgess out front. Deflected to the side. Gamez able to keep it in. Hard off the wall, out to neutral ice. Picked up by Cordova. Skates around one player. His pass intercepted by Bauer. Shot from Ganesh is blocked by Cordova. He's feeling this thing there. Is now the puck played out. One touch pass finds Melissa. Melissa to the offensive zone. He shoots from a long ways away, and that goes high. It's flipped out. Touched with the glove of Cordova. He has a reverse hit on Peck. Now finds Melissa. Melissa looking cross ice, gets it to Hoover. Hoover has Steele with him. His shot's deflected up out of play. Luke Johnson, Jake Johnson, J.J. Roth, Jonathan Lewis, and Brandon Van Stone. 5 on the ice in white jerseys. Mission able to win the face-off. The pass to Lewis. Can't quite find a target. He has to delay as Johnson gets back on side. Roll with it under the end line. Gets it to Peck along the wall. Peck tries a one-touch pass. Not able to get clear. Carly's going to have to drop on that. And with 1:26, we'll get an offensive zone face-off. But Lewis to take it to Carlisa's left. Gets it back to Roth. Roth over to Johnson. His shot goes just wide to the right post. And then the puck frozen on the back of the net. Do it again. 1:18 to play, this time on the other side. Sun Devils will swap their forward line before this face-off. Just over a minute to go. Here in period number 1, Mission trails by a goal. They're able to control the face-off in their defensive zone. Hard off the wall, looking for Gamis. Ganesh with it. Works for Pokecheck, gets it along the near wall. Played out. Ganesh skates past one player. Van Stone able to take it away from him. Now Brown chasing. Johnson hard along the near wall. Maloney keeps it in. Long pass ahead. Finds Johnson. Johnson tangled up with Bauer. No call. Gamis pass intercepted. Roth going to sweep that out of the zone. Savoni with it. He fans on his pass. Picked up by Lewis. Lewis moves around Barron. Looking for a little bit of a pick. Puck out front. Still moving. Still loose. Devils able to get it clear with under 10 seconds to go. One last chance here in the period for Mission if they can make it work. Puck kicked in. It's going to go to the corner. And Ace Barron unable to get to it before time expires. At the end of 15 minutes of play, score Junior Sun Devils 1, Mission 0. Period number 2 set to get underway. Just that Gamas goal in the first separating us as we move into period number 2 and the long change. On the ice for Mission, Barron, Martin, Cunningham, Burgess, and Cordova. Puck poked back, controlled by O'Sullivan. Now played long off the stick of Peck. Cordova with it on his backhand. Gets it to Martin. Martin under pressure. Goes down, then takes a hit in the boards in the corner. He skates away with the puck. Cordova across the line. Delayed call coming up against the Sun Devils. Cordova tries to center it. It's picked up by the Sun Devils. And we'll see what the whistle is here. Two minutes for cross-checking the call against Tag. And the first power play of the game is going to go in favor of Mission. 5-on-4 means a power play line of Steele, Cordova, Roth, Melissa and Lewis. Face off tied up. Sun Devils able to get it and get it clear. McNeil lead for Lewis. Arnsberger out front of the net. Pass ahead, finds Steele. Steele works his way up the boards. Pass Bear. Sends roll down to the ice. Cordova keeps it in at the line. Down under the stick. And we're going to get another penalty coming up here. Roll's going to go to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. And it'll be a 5-on-3 for a minute 28 here. Michigan wants a chance to get back in the game. They're not going to get a better one than this. Same 5 on the ice for the Sun Devils. Looks like O'Sullivan, Ganesh, and Jensen. Face-off was taken by the Sun Devils. They're able to get the clear. That'll help. Roth with it. Finds Cordova. Cordova peels off the wall. Moves centrally. Now over to Roth. Roth's shot. Save. Second chance. And that's covered by Carlise. Mission takes a face-off shot by Melissa. Is kicked aside. Battle along the roll. Roth pulls it up, gets it on his forehand, finds Lewis up top. Lewis has to take a second bite at his pass. That goes past Cordova low. Poke back. Cordova again beneath the line. Jensen pinning him against the wall. Puck picked up by Steele. Finds Melissa. Back to Cordova. Looking for up top and past Lewis long, and we're at 27 seconds to go in the 2-man advantage. About 30 seconds of difference between the 2 penalties. Cordova drives in deep, banks a pass off the wall to Roth. Roth finds Lewis up high. Lewis shot from the top of the circle, and that's blockered up out of play. 8 seconds left on the first penalty. The tag at 39 seconds on the second penalty. Michigan keeping the same 5 skaters still out on the ice. Face off tied up. Over to Roth. Roth shot. Carlise meets it with a sliding pad. And nothing on the 2-man advantage. Several shots, but no goals. Here comes Lewis now. 5-on-4 for Mission. Steele across the line. Dumps it in past Bauer. Gets it back himself. Finds Melissa. Melissa back to Cordova. Cordova spins away from one. Gets a sharp angle shot. Now Steele had that one tied up in his skates. Played long and out. Penalty time expires. Chance on the rush. Gamez across the line. Fans on his shot. Second chance. Blocked out front. And Bauer has his pocket picked out to neutral ice. Steele now on the rush. Melissa delays. Pass to Melissa. Melissa finds the back of the net. The Mission ties it up at even strength. Melissa from Steele on the goal. Lewis take the faceoff, has Van Stone and Johnson with him on the forward line. Burgess and Cordova, the defensive pair, off this faceoff. O'Sullivan with it. Over to Ernsberger, who plays a one-touch pass, trying to get it around Burgess. Burgess can't clear. That was kept in by Bear. Behind the net, disrupted by Cordova, played along the wall. Van Stone with it. Touch pass ahead. Lewis able to get it out across the line. Cordova has Van Stone in front of him. Tries to go down the middle. It's going to be picked up by Lewis. Lewis gets across the line. Van Stone with the puck. Now back to Lewis. He'll send it down in the corner, then go off for a change. He was on for that power play, and in need of rest. Out comes Martin. Played long. Sun Devils. Cordova able to get in the way. Picks it up, gets it poked across the line. Now dumped in. Long pass played ahead. That's intercepted by Tag. Gets across the line. And we got a penalty coming up here against Mission. And it's going to be Burgess on the trip as he took the legs out from under Tag. So score tied at 1. 10:31 to play. It will be the Sun Devils' first attempt on the power play here tonight. Ganesh takes the face-off. Mission able to play it down deep. Gamez binds on net, finds Roll. Roll to the offensive zone. Drop pass for Bear. Looking on the back post. Finds Brown left all by himself. And just 21 seconds into the power play, Sun Devils cash in and make it 2-1. Sun Devils control off the face-off and restored their lead as Lorenzo plays the puck into the zone. Cordova rubbed off along the wall. Fly tag, now controlled by Lorenzo. Martin takes down Lorenzo along the wall. Martin, out to neutralize, gains the red line, dumps the puck in deep. Peck in the offensive zone for the Devils. Has a shot saved by McNeil. Cordova ahead to Hoover. Hoover knocked off the puck by Roll. Burgess gets to the line, but Roll able to keep it in. Tag fans on his shot out front. Hoover with it. Tries to send one long. Icing waved off. Lorenzo with a touch pass to get it out of the zone. Everybody will reset. Roth with it. Roth gets one in deep. Steele chasing. Steele beats Roll to it. Tries to go along the wall. Melissa can't find it. Pulled out by the Sun Devils long. We get a whistle and a hand pass called. Just over 8.5 minutes to go here in period number 2. It's Sun Devils 2, Mission 1. That shot up over the net. Sun Devils skater loses an edge, but by the end wall now gets it out front. Bear had a chance. That puck taken away from him as he was right in McNeil's crease. Roth stands up to some pressure from the Sun Devils. Gets it out to the Zamboni door. Played long. Van Stone. Has Bear chasing in on him. Has a shot there. Excuse the camera. Back underway. Barron fights for the puck. O'Sullivan will be the first to it. Picked up by Gamez. Long pass cross ice to Brown. Brown returns. Gamez drives. A shot over the net. Bauer keeps the puck in the zone. Burgess gets it back out to the point. Tipped by Gamez. It's on frame, but dealt with. Bauer through traffic. Brown not able to clear the zone. Burgess able to keep it in. Steal. Brown again can't clear. Hoover finds Steele. One-time shot saved by Carlise. Hoover holds firm on the wall. Steele off the inside leg of Bauer. Back to himself. Now Hoover with it. Cordova does well to hold the blue line. Steele back to Hoover. Hoover tries to center. Carlise got a stick on that. Able to deflect it away. Puck played long down ice. And icing whistle with 6:13 to go. Sun Devils win the face-off. Able to get the puck out. Lorenzo pokes it around Johnson. Peck looking cross ice for tag. That was poked away by Roth. Puck out only as far as Jensen. Lewis then steals it away. It's Van Stone. Dinks it in across the line. Chases himself. Roll able to get it to Peck, and the Sun Devils cleared. Luke Johnson flips down ice. Roll able to get to it. Puck kept in by Johnson. Jensen has it for the Sun Devils. Along the half wall, able to get it out. Tag had a chance at a 2-on-1. That's played up out of play by Roth. Face off one by the Sun Devils. Sloan plays it in deep. Burgess first to it along the wall, but pinching in where the Sun Devils is not able to get clear. Hooked out front, no one home. Steele into the offensive zone. Has Hoover far side. Puck left a juicy rebound, and then second chance right into the chest of Carlise. Steele to take the offensive zone draw. Able to play it to the wall or gets to it first himself. Back for Hoover. Hoover delayed playing it. Bauer able to get there for the Sun Devils. Up along the wall. Steele battling back. Sends it cross ice. One-timer by Melissa, but that's saved by Carlise. Ganesh able to get out. Finds Gamez, then behind Bauer. Has time to retreat to his own zone. Now under the forecheck pressure of Hoover. And we're going to get a penalty coming up there for interference. Ganesh called for interference, flipping the stick out of the hands of Steele. Mission with another chance on the power play. They're 0 for 2 so far tonight. They had that 5-on-3, but were unable to cash in. They did get an even strength goal shortly thereafter. Roth with a shot off the face-off. That's saved. Gets the puck back. High for Lewis. Unable to control. Brown chasing him into his own offensive zone. He turns it over to Gamez. Gamez then overskates it. Mission able to get it clear. Steele, the backhand flip along the glass. Melissa will be first to it. Back to Steele. Leaves for Cordova. Cordova trying to work past Jensen. Steele out front and is saved by Carlise. Roth with it at the point. That's to Lewis. Lewis' shot blocked. Cordova trying to hold off Bauer. Back up top to Lewis. Lewis fires from distance, bouncing puck, loose out front. Still not covered. Lewis, the one-timer, that's deflected up high. Now Steele tries to step around Bauer, leaves the puck for Cordova. Cordova looking for a wraparound, bouncing out front, still loose and cleared. McNeil leaves for Lewis. Tag whacks McNeil. Still shot high over the net. Pass stealing out. 5 seconds left to go on the penalty. Cleared, but Cordova has to go off the ice. Here comes Roll. Roll with a shot. McNeil makes a save. .153 to go, period number 2. Sun Devils ahead by a score of 2-1. Jensen got the puck off the face-off. Savoini keeps it in at the line and loses an edge at the bench. Sun Devils still control the puck in deep. Van Stone tries to fire long ahead. Puck now tipped in his zone. Jensen will be first to it. Takes it behind his own net. Looking for Ernstberger on the exit pass. Does get it out. Burgess is there to send it right back in. Van Stone has the puck stripped away from him. Burgess with a pass ahead. Luke Johnson dumps it in deep. One minute to go. Steele with the puck. Steps off the wall on his backhand. Sends that wide. Steele again. That's off the pads of Carlise. Luke Johnson fires one in. That's knocked down by Savoini. Puck kept in. Players tangled up. Shot wide. Burgess out front. Tipped in and a goal. Burgess sent the shot in, and it looks like it took a tip by Steele out front to redirect it past Carlise. And we're knotted up at 2 with just 25 seconds left to go in the second period. Puck tied up. Lewis still battling for it. Sundell's able to pull it back. O'Sullivan drives the head up over the net. Brown keeps it in. Now Ganesh. Backhander through the crease. 8 seconds to go. Played ahead for Hoover. Tries to get past Roll. Gets pushed away from the puck. Gammon is with it, and that's the end of period number 2. So after 30 minutes of play, we're knotted at 2. Be back for the final 15 in just a moment. Back for period number 3. Jonathan Lewis in to take the face off. He's got Van Stone and Luke Johnson on his line. Peck controls, gets it back to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan long ahead past Peck and down the length of the ice. Icing waved off as that was tipped. Burgess tries to find Johnson. Bear able to keep it in. Then it's deflected out. Van Stone. Roll and O'Sullivan get back. Looking for Johnson. Sends that in on net, where it's covered by Carlise. Steele on the offensive zone draw, but it's won back by the Sun Devils. Then played out. Nesh chops it forward to himself. Trying to work past Cordova as his shot is deflected into the chest of McNeil. Sun Devils win the faceoff again. Savoini from distance. That's deflected out front. Bouncing puck controlled. Brown. Ridden into the wall by Burgess. Ganesh keeps the puck in. Cordova now with it behind his own net. Flips forward, hits Steele on the back of the skate. He was unaware and then cleared. Steele able to block that pass. Get it into the offensive zone. A little sloppy here early in the third by both teams. Melissa steals the puck away, gets it out front. Hoover with it in a save by Carlise. And again, one has to think if that gets left for Hoover, he'll put it in the empty net. Roth. Under pressure from Gamez, able to get it to Cordova. Cordova holds off two Sun Devils. One-touch pass from Melissa to Steele. Steele moves onto his backhand. He's delaying as there's a line change going on for Mission. Now played to the near corner. Barron. Barron takes a hit, getting the puck to Hoover. That's played out and down the length of the ice. Sun Devils will get to it first. Roth overskates his check. Shot goes wide. Bear with it. There to Bauer. Sticked aside by McNeil. Back out front. That's saved off the pads. Cunningham able to get it clear. Looking ahead for Barron. Pass behind him to pick it up off the wall. Dump it in past Lorenzo. Jake Johnson, one-timer on net. Carlise will hold on. So it's Martin, Barron, Cunningham, Cordova, and Burgess on the ice in white sweaters. 12:32 left to go. Tie ball game. Puck along the wall. Burgess going to keep it in the zone. He's tied up by Tag. Roll takes the puck away from Barron. Gives it to Peck. Peck unable to clear. Martin trying to skate around O'Sullivan. Chopped in by Barron and kicked aside by Carlise. Peck drops it into the offensive zone. Cordova spins away from a check. Now he'll send one forward. Martin chops it ahead. Off for a line changes. O'Sullivan picks it up in his own zone. Ahead for Peck at the red line. Peck finds Ganesh on the far side. Ganesh now steps around to check. A shot. Deflected up high. Luke Johnson squeezed out along the boards by Ganesh. Played over to Peck. Peck off the stick of Tag. Now out of the zone. Lewis with it. Lewis across the logo. Stick check from Tag. Takes it away. Down low. It's Van Stone with it. Van Stone taken down to the ice. Sun Devils able to clear their defensive zone. They go for a line change. Roth with it. Ahead for Johnson. Johnson just tries to dump it in. Doesn't get it very far. Roth at the line. Now it's Bear. Has Brown in front of him. And that's going to be offside. Still take the face-off in the neutral zone right next to us. Melissa and Hoover out there with him. Roth and Jake Johnson in defense. Roth with the puck. Out of the zone, up along the boards, only as far as Savoini, then dumped back in by the Devils. Johnson goes around the wall to Steele. Melissa able to dump it in, but that's intercepted. Delayed at the line, and then offsides on Mission. Still was too far in. Sun Devils win the face-off. Puck off a glove and deep. Cordova spins away from a hit. He'll send one long along the boards. Hoover with it. Hoover gets zone entry. Melissa, his shot. Saved by Carlise. Now pinned in the corner. Steele spins away with it. Steele works through a check. Up top, Cordova. Wow! Cordova with a shot from right at the blue line. And it beats Carlise up high. Almost pops the water bottle off the net. I think he was distracted. It was Melissa out front who waved at the puck but didn't make any contact. And now it's Mission 3, Sun Devils 2. Face off one by the Devils. They'll flip it in deep. Cordova banks one high off the boards. Tipped by Lorenzo. Barron racing to get to it ahead of Bauer. Bauer there first. Here come the Sun Devils back across the line. Centering pass doesn't find a target. And we get a whistle here as a penalty coming up against Mission. Tripping the call here. .9:33 to play. There'll be another Sun Devil chance on the power play. They're 1-for-1 tonight. It only lasted about 20 seconds. Ace Barron in the box. Sun Devils control off the faceoff. Gamis shoots. McNeil made the first save. Couldn't find the puck on the rebound. Roll. Back to Gamis high. Now Bear. Down low for Brown. Looking back post. Mission was there that time. Still can't quite get it clear. Now Roth. Backhand for Van Stone. At the line, but not out. Good work by Gamis to keep it in. Bear ducks under a check. Ends up getting tangled up with Cordova as the puck comes out to center ice. Roll finds Brown. Back to Roll. Roll takes to the offensive zone. McNeil's without his stick right now. Bear. Passed and out. Gamis into the offensive zone. Drop for Bear. Brown down low. Back up for Bear. Bear looking for a shooting lane. Steele able to block that with a skate. And then Melissa backhands it back out to neutral ice. Sun Devils trying to reload. 40 seconds left on the power play. Ganesh steps around one. Still has the puck. Continues with it all the way. Gamis. And the net is off, so we get a whistle. .29 seconds to go on the penalty to Barron. Mission still leads 3-2. 8 and change left to go in the game here in Peoria. Steele and Ernsberger to the circle to take the faceoff. Tied up. Flipped out, not clear. Sullivan able to glove that down. O'Sullivan. Sends it low, back up to O'Sullivan at the point. Looking for a lane. Great work by Jensen to battle through that stick check for Melissa. Keep the puck in the zone. Sends it deep, clearing attempt. Hits a body. Ernsberger sends a shot wide. Reaction sliding save by McNeil as penalty time expires. Steele to the offensive zone. Has it poked away by O'Sullivan. Spins away from a check. Looking for Melissa, and it ended up off the skate of Van Stone. Roth finds Melissa, who dumps it in. He'll go off for a change. Jensen taking lead for the Sun Devils. Gets it to the offensive zone. Sliding across to kick that one all the way through his crease was McNeil. Now turned over. Peck with a shot. That one's gloved. Swallowed up by McNeil. Lewis take the face-off for Mission in the defensive zone, but it's won by the Sun Devils. Roll. Flips it in deep. Roth will pick it up behind his own net. Gamas was there, but Roth able to get it just past him. Now Lewis. Leading the rush. Works his way past Ganesh, then loses control of the puck. Played up along the half wall. Past Jake Johnson and out. Cordova first to it. Kicks it across the line. Lewis tries to clear. Van Stone finally able to. Savoini with it. Under 6 to play. Banked off the wall. Barron's tied up. Backhanded in the zone. Ganesh will be the first to it. Cordova keeping attention on him. Now played along the wall. It's going to get past Lorenzo out of the zone. Melissa can't quite pick it up. Brown loses an edge as he tries to turn at the blue line. Cunningham steps up into the play, had it at the blue line for a second, but then Bauer able to gain control. Bauer into the offensive zone for the Sun Devils. Shot blocked out front. Cunningham with it now. He'll gain the red line. Sends it in deep as Mission going off for a change. Here's we're under 5 minutes to play. Exit pass blocked. Martin pinned along the wall. Burgess going to take a one-time shot, and that's kicked aside. Both teams still battling for it late here in the third. That gets past Burgess and out. Shot goes wide. Mission able to clear it out to neutral ice, so Sullivan's going to slam it back in. Give both teams time to change. As Sun Devils have to reset now. Played hard along the wall. And Hoover's going to drift just across the line. .4:12 on the clock. 3-2 on the scoreboard in favor of the home squad. Hoover, Steele, Melissa, Cordova, and Burgess on the ice for Mission. Puck flipped in. Sent down into the corner by Melissa. Now played hard around the boards. Tag going to backhand that clear. Gets it all the way to Peck. Peck sends it cross ice into the zone. Melissa around for Cordova. Cordova able to read that right and just lift the stick at the right moment. Now Steele. Past one check. Now across the line. Loses an edge. Roll. Sends the pass ahead. Ganesh taps it to Tag. Over to Peck. Peck shot. Saved. Tag has it stolen away by Cordova. Cordova cuts right up between the circles. Sends the pass that finds JP Roll of the Sun Devils. Roll now. Defense to offense as he goes to the top of the circle. Finds Ganesh.
Ganesh's shot blocked. Hoover able to poke that away from Roll at the line. Sun Devils have to let it go. Lewis trying to catch the Sun Devils on a change. Delays, has it taken away from him as he looks to shoot. Johnson had a chance. That was saved. Tip puck floating, glove down. And now played out to Peck. Peck trying to step across Roth, taken wide. Jake Johnson going to send it down, not out. Played to the near side where Van Stone will be able to get out right at his blue line. Finds Roth. Roth flips that up high, looking for Johnson, but it's picked up by the Sun Devils. Brown then loses control along the near wall. Bear battles through. Gamez with it. Banked off the wall and out as we hit the 2-minute mark here in period number 3. Jensen long ahead for Gamez. Gamez across the line. Roth flips it high up into the air where it's knocked down. Lewis across the line. His shot hits a shin pad. He's able to scoop it along the end wall. Barron's going to get to it first. Poked away from him. Now it's Brown for the Sun Devils. Finds Svoini. Svoini drives out front. Wow, sent one through the crease and just couldn't find the handle on it. Was Gamez on the back post. Played up along the glass to the blue line, then passed and out. Goalie pulled as we close in on the 1-minute mark. Empty net for the Sun Devils. 6 skaters on the ice. Bear trying to get to his forehand for a shot. Mission able to guide him out wide. Gamez out front. Steele flips it down. Not out. Steele gets it back. Steele delays, and Steele puts another one home. Icing on the cake for Jackson Steele. .53.5 seconds on the clock. It's Mission 4, Sun Devils 2. Roll with the puck for the Sun Devils, back in his own zone. Find O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan ahead for Gamez. Tips it into the zone. Ganesh behind the net. Looking for a lane. Chips it to Brown. Comes out to Roll. Roll finds O'Sullivan. 30 seconds to go. Ganesh sends a shot that goes just high. And Roll has it roll off his stick and out into neutral ice. Gamez now across the blue line. Able to get it to Brown. Brown shoots. Saved by McNeil as he dived out for the poke check. Cordova across the line tries to go over for Hoover. And the final seconds tick off the clock. And that's it for us tonight. Sun Devils 2, Mission 4. Mission able to come away with a win.